Hello everyone, welcome you all in my YouTube channel. This is the fifth video of the series AZ-900 exam. Coming to the question number 61, this video contains the questions that are drag and drop based questions. So the first question is, your company intends to subscribe to an Azure support plan. The support plan must allow for new support requests to be opened. Which of the following are the support plans that will allow this? And answer by dragging the correct options from the list to the answer area. So basically, what the question says that we are providing an Azure support plan that must allow for new support requests to be opened. And the support plans are basic, developer, standard, professional, direct, and premium. But basic does not support for this. So the answer should be developer, standard, professional, direct, and premium. Coming to the question number 62, the company would like to develop a cloud solution by making use of Azure Government. Azure Government can only be used by certain types of clients to develop the cloud solution. Which of the following are the types of customers that can make use of Azure Government in this situation? Answer by dragging the correct option from the list to the answer area. So the list is a government contractor from any country, a government entity from any country, European government contractor, European government entity, United States government contractor, United States government entity. And answers would be United States government contractor and United States government entity. Coming to the question number 63, match Azure service benefits to the correct descriptions. Instruction is to answer, drag the appropriate benefit from the column on the left to its description on the right. Each benefit may be used once, more than once, or not at all. So we have to see that. Coming to the answer options are disaster recovery, fault tolerance, low latency, dynamic scalability. And answers area would be, or the statements are, a cloud service that remains available after a failure occurs, a cloud service that can recover after a failure occurs, a cloud service that performs quickly when demand increases, cloud service that can be accessed quickly from the internet. So the cloud service that remains available after the failure occur would be fault tolerance. A cloud service that can be recovered after a failure occur, disaster recovery. Cloud service that performs quickly when demand increases, dynamic scalability. And cloud service that can be accessed quickly from internet is low latency. Coming to question number 64, match the cloud model to the correct advantage. Instruction is same. Coming to the cloud model, private cloud, hybrid cloud, private cloud, and public cloud. And work area are no required capital expenditure, provides complete control over security, provides a choice to use on premises or cloud based solution. And answer should be public cloud that no required any capital expenditure. Private cloud provides complete control over security, and hybrid cloud provides a choice to use on-premises or cloud-based resources. Coming to question number 65, you plan to create an Azure virtual machine. You need to identify which storage service must be used to store the unmanaged data disk from the virtual machines. What should you identify? To answer, select the appropriate service in the answer area. And answer area is container, file share, table, and queue. So according to the question that we have to create a virtual machine, and we need to identify which storage service must be used to store unmanaged data disk of the virtual machine. Unmanaged data disk of the virtual machine would be under containers. So it should be container. Coming to the question number 66, you plan to implement an Azure database solution. You need to implement a database solution that meets the following requirements. Can add data concurrently from multiple regions, and second, can store JSON documents. Which database service should you deploy? And the answer area are, these are the services, and we have to select which database service will be deploy should we deploy so that we can add data concurrently from multiple regions and we can store JSON document, and correct option is A, Azure Cosmos DB. Coming to the question number 67, you plan to deploy a critical line of business application to Azure. The application will run on Azure virtual machine. You need to recommend a deployment solution for the application. The solution must provide a guarantee availability of 99.99%. What is the minimum number of virtual machines and minimum number of availability zones you should recommend for the deployment? In order to provide a guaranteed availability of 99.99%, minimum number of virtual machines and minimum number of availability zones must be 2. So minimum number of virtual machines must be 2 and minimum number of availability zones must be 2. Coming to the question number 68, match the Azure services to the correct description, and instruction is to answer, drag the appropriate service from the column on the left to its description on the right. Azure Sphere, IoT Central, and IoT Hub. These are the services, and answer area is a managed service that provides bi-directional communication between IoT devices and Azure, a fully managed software as a service solution to connect, monitor, and manage IoT devices at scale, and a software and hardware solution that provides communication and security features for IoT devices. So correct options would be IoT Hub is a service that is required to manage a service that provides bi-directional communication between IoT devices and Azure. IoT Central is a fully managed software as a service SaaS solution to connect, monitor, and manage IoT devices at scale. And Azure Sphere is a software and hardware solution that provides communication and security features for IoT devices. Coming to the question number 69, match the Azure services to the appropriate description. And services are Azure Cosmos DB, Azure SD Insights, Azure Synapse Analytics, and answers areas would be a fully managed data warehouse that has integral security at every level of scale at no extra cost, a globally distributed database that supports NoSQL, managed Apache Hadoop cluster in the cloud that enable you to process massive amount of data. And answers would be Azure Synapse Analytics is a fully managed data warehouse that has integral security at every level of scale at no extra cost. Second, Azure Cosmos DB is a global distributed database that supports NoSQL, and Azure SD Insight is a managed Apache Hadoop cluster in the cloud that enable you to process massive amounts of data. Coming to the question number 70, match the serverless solution to the correct characteristics. We have to select the serverless solution. To answer, drag the appropriate serverless solution from the column on the left to its characteristics on the right. Each serverless solution may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Azure Function and Azure Logic apps are the serverless solutions, and we have to find the answers for execute code is always stateful and runs only in the cloud. So we have to find the answers. So the answer should be execute code. Azure Function can execute the code. Is always stateful. Azure Function is always stateful. Runs only in the cloud. Azure Logic app only runs in the cloud. Coming to the question number 71, match the Azure services to the correct application. Instruction: to answer, drag the appropriate service from the column on the left to its description on the right. Each service may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Azure Advisor, Azure Cognitive Services, Azure Application Insights, Azure DevOps are the services, and the answers area that we have to use are an integrated solution for the deployment of code, a tool that provides guidance and recommendations to improve an Azure environment, a simplified tool to build intelligent artificial intelligence applications, monitor web applications. So the correct options would be An integrated solution for deployment of code would be Azure DevOps. A tool that provides guidance and recommendations to improve an Azure environment would be Azure Advisor. A simplified tool to build intelligent AI application would be Azure Cognitive Services, and monitor web applications would be Azure Application Insights. Coming to the question number 72, match the Azure services to correct description. Instruction is same. Coming to the question, Azure SD Insights, Azure Data Lake Analytics, Azure SQL Synapse Analytics, Azure SQL Database. And the services are a managed relational cloud database service, a cloud-based service that leverages massively parallel processing, MPP, massively parallel processing, to quickly run complex queries across petabytes of data in a relational database, can run massively parallel data transformation and processing programs across the petabytes of data, and an open source framework for distributed processing and analysis of big data sets in the cluster. And answers would be a managed relational cloud database service would be Azure SQL Database, a cloud-based solution service that leverages MPP to quickly run complex queries across petabytes of data in a relational database would be Azure SQL Synapse Analytics. Can run massively parallel data transformation and processing programs across petabytes of data would be Azure Data Lake Analytics. An open source framework for distributed processing and analysis of big data sets in a cluster would be Azure SD Insights. Coming to the question number 73, match the Azure services to the correct option. Instruction is same. Azure services are Azure Machine Learning, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure IoT Hub, and Azure Function. And answer area would be provides a cloud-based EDW, that is Enterprise Data Warehouse, uses past trainings to provide predictions that have high probability, provides serverless computing functionalities, and processes data from millions of sensors. And answers would be Azure Synapse Analytics provides a cloud-based EDW. Azure Machine Learning uses past trainings to provide predictions that have high probability. Azure Function provides serverless computing functionality. Azure IT Hub processes data from billions of sensors. Coming to the question number 74, same question, but we have to find the answers as answer options are Azure Machine Learning, Azure IoT Hub, Azure Board Services, and Azure Functions. And the statements are provides a digital online assistant that provides speech support, uses past training to provide predictions that have high probability, provides serverless computing functionalities, and processes data from millions of sensors. And answers should be Azure Bot Service provides a digital online assistant that provides speech support. Azure Machine Learning uses past training to provide predictions that have high probability. Azure Functions provide serverless computing functionalities, and Azure IoT Hub processes the data from millions of sensors. Coming to the question number 75, match the Azure services to the correct description. Instruction is same. Azure Function, Azure App Service, Azure Virtual Machine, and Azure Container Instances are the services. And statements are provide operating system virtualization, provide portable environment for virtualized applications, use to build, deploy, and scale web apps, provide a platform for serverless code. And answers should be Azure Virtual Machines provide operating system virtualization. Azure Container Instances provide portable environments for virtualized applications. Azure App Service is used to build, deploy, and scale web apps. And Azure Functions provide platform for serverless code.